Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Life is going to test you. It's going to push you. It's going to ask you to go places you don't want to go, face things you don't want to face, and confront truths you ain't ready for. But here's the thing, that truth's going to hurt. And not just a little bit. Sometimes it's going to feel like a slap across your face, a punch in the gut. It's going to come at you hard. And you won't understand it. You'll be sitting there wondering, why me? But I'm here to tell you something. The truth didn't damage you by accident. It didn't come into your life out of some random twist of fate. No. It came on purpose. It came intentionally. And it came to break you. And I know right now you're thinking that's messed up, but trust me, it wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to build you up in a way you couldn't see coming. See, when you're sitting in that dark place, when you're hurting, when everything feels like it's falling apart, it's easy to think that the world's against you. It's easy to think, why is this happening? Why now? Why me? But the truth is, the world ain't out to get you. Life ain't out to get you. But the truth, the real truth, that truth is going to shake you. It's going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to push you to your limits. And that's exactly what it's supposed to do. You see, growth doesn't come from the easy stuff. Growth doesn't come from the comfortable stuff. Growth doesn't come from playing it safe. Growth comes from the pain. Growth comes from the struggle. Growth comes from that moment when you face the truth and it knocks you down and you say, you know what? I'm going to stand back up. I'm going to face it head on. I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but that truth you're running from, that's the very thing that's going to elevate you. I know you're hurt. I know you feel like it's all falling apart. But you have to understand sometimes the truth has to hit you in the gut for you to finally see who you really are. For you to finally understand the strength inside you that you never knew existed. We walk around with all these walls up. We walk around hiding behind these masks, pretending we got it all together, pretending we're stronger than we really are. But the truth has a way of pulling those masks off. The truth has a way of getting underneath your skin and stripping you down to the very core of who you are. It'll force you to look in the mirror, and when you look in that mirror, you won't be able to hide from it anymore. You won't be able to hide from the mistakes. You won't be able to hide from the failures. You won't be able to hide from the fact that you're not perfect. And guess what? You don't have to be perfect. But you do have to face the truth. You do have to own up to it. I know it ain't easy. It's not supposed to be easy. You can't grow from comfort. You can't grow from living in a bubble. You want growth? You want strength? You want power? Then you better be ready for the truth. Because that's what it's going to take. The truth's going to make you confront things you've been avoiding your whole life. It's going to make you confront the lies you've been telling yourself. You know, the lie that you're fine when you're not. The lie that you've got it all under control when you're really falling apart. The lie that you can handle it on your own when you need help. The truth's going to rip all that apart. It's going to break down those walls you've been hiding behind for years, and that's where the healing begins. But you got to embrace it. You got to face it. You can't keep running from it. You can't keep pretending it's not there. The longer you deny the truth, the longer you delay your growth. And trust me, you want that growth. Because on the other side of that pain, on the other side of that truth, is the person you're meant to be. And you'll find that your greatest strength comes when you accept that truth. It ain't easy to admit when you've messed up. When you've fallen short, when you've let people down. But when you own it, when you say, I'm not perfect, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep striving. I'm going to make it right. That's when the real power shows up. Life's not about never falling. It's about how you get up after you fall. It's not about avoiding the tough stuff. It's about having the courage to walk through it head held high, knowing that there's something better waiting on the other side. And it's all going to make sense eventually. You might not see it now, but one day you'll look back and say, that truth, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm telling you right now, that truth is a tool. It's a tool that's going to carve out the greatness inside of you. You might not understand it today, but the pain, that's just the fire that's going to forge you. That's the hammer that's shaping you into something stronger, something better. You're going to be better for it. You're going to be tougher for it. You're going to be wiser for it. And when you come out on the other side, you're going to be unrecognizable to the person you were before. The truth is going to break you down, yeah. But it's also going to build you back up stronger than you've ever been. And when you rise, you're going to rise with the kind of strength and power that can't be taken from you. So stop running from it. Stop avoiding it. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of what it might say about you. Don't be afraid of what it might force you to confront. Because at the end of the day, the truth is the only thing that's going to set you free. And it might hurt like hell to get there. But that hurt, that pain, it's part of the process. And you can't skip the process. I want you to look at that truth straight in the eye. I want you to face it no matter how ugly it looks. Because in that moment, you're not just facing the truth, you're facing your destiny. You're facing who you're supposed to be. And I promise you, when you get through it, you'll look back and say, that was the moment I became who I was meant to be. So I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care how much it hurts. I don't care how much you want to give up. You keep pushing, you keep moving, you keep fighting. Because when you stand strong in the truth, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you. That's the power of the truth. It's going to break you. But it's also going to make you unbreakable. The truth may hurt, but it comes into our lives for a reason, sometimes to break us down, but always to build us back stronger. It's not meant to destroy, but to elevate us and help us grow. True growth doesn't happen in comfort. It comes from facing the tough, uncomfortable moments and from confronting the hard truths about ourselves that we'd rather avoid. Pain and struggle are integral parts of the process of becoming who we're meant to be. When we stop running from the truth, we take back our power. Owning the truth, no matter how difficult, gives us the strength to heal, improve, and rise above our circumstances with greater wisdom and resilience. The journey through truth is tough, but it's essential for personal growth. Even when the process is painful, it's a necessary step toward becoming the unbreakable, stronger version of ourselves we're meant to be. The truth is not something that arrives by chance, not something that simply falls into your lap out of nowhere. No, the truth is intentional. It has purpose. It seeks you out. And when it shows up, it's often not in the form you want or expect. It's not a gentle revelation that comes with soft whispers or a nice, clean answer. The truth often arrives in ways that feel uncomfortable, even painful. But the thing is, it's not there to hurt you just for the sake of it. It's there to transform you. The truth's job is not to destroy you. It's to mold you, to push you into growth, to break apart the old you, and in doing so, allow the new, stronger you to emerge. It's a process of shedding, not of loss, but of gain. The truth will confront you with aspects of yourself you've been avoiding, aspects of your life you've been too scared to face. But at the core of it all, the truth is working on you. It's trying to get you to evolve, to step into your next level, your next stage of life. You see, life is not a straight line. We don't just grow in a perfect upward trajectory. There are twists, turns, setbacks, moments where we feel like we're moving backwards. But in the midst of all that, there's one thing you can count on: the truth. The truth will always find its way to the surface, whether you want it to or not. It's going to make itself known. And when it does, it's going to show you things you didn't want to see. It's going to expose weaknesses, blind spots, and places in your life where you've been avoiding responsibility. But here's the thing, all of that is for your good. The truth is intentional because it doesn't just expose these weaknesses to make you feel bad about yourself. It exposes them to give you the opportunity to heal, to change, to become better. If you can't see where you're weak, how can you strengthen it? If you can't see where you're failing, how can you succeed? The truth cuts through the fog, it clears the confusion, and it forces you to face what's real, whether you're ready or not. Think about it. It's easy to stay in denial. It's easy to pretend that everything's fine when it's not. It's easy to tell ourselves lies, to ignore the facts, to live in a world of comfortable delusions. But the truth is not concerned with your comfort. It doesn't care if it's convenient for you or if it fits into your neat little world of how you want things to be. The truth will come in and tear down that wall. It will throw that comfort zone out the window. And yeah, it'll hurt. It'll shake you to your core. But it's doing so with the intention of getting you to stop lying to yourself, to get you to stop hiding from the real work that needs to be done. The truth is transformative because it doesn't just expose flaws, it offers solutions. It shows you the cracks, yes, but it also shows you the path to healing, to growth. The moment you face the truth, you're no longer a prisoner of the lie you've been telling yourself. You're free to take the next step forward, to make the changes necessary for your evolution. The truth is like a key to a door you've been standing in front of for years, unsure whether to open it or not. And when you finally unlock it, you realize there's a whole new world on the other side of the world where you're stronger, wiser, more capable of handling what life throws at you. This kind of transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's not a quick fix. It's a process, a journey. And like any transformation, it takes time. The truth will expose things you're not ready to confront. And at first, you might want to turn away. You might want to go back to the comfort of the lie, the easy path. But when you choose to stay, when you choose to face the truth, that's when the real change begins. It's in those moments of discomfort, of struggle, that the foundation for your growth is being laid. It's in the fire of the truth that you're being forged into something stronger than you ever thought possible. Think about the people who have achieved the most in life, the ones who have faced the most adversity. Look at the people who have come out on the other side of hardship with wisdom and strength. What do they all have in common? They didn't run from the truth. They didn't turn their back on the difficult realities of life. They faced it head on. They allowed the truth to break them down and rebuild them. And that's what made them who they are today. The truth didn't damage them. It made them who they were meant to be. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that facing the truth doesn't come with pain, confusion, or fear. I'm not saying that you won't feel like your world is falling apart when the truth comes crashing in. But here's the thing, it's in those moments that you have to dig deeper. You have to trust that the truth is working on you even when you can't see the results right away. You have to trust the process because the process is what is going to get you to the other side, to the person you're meant to become. Every time the truth knocks you down, you have two choices. You can either stay down or you can get up and keep moving forward. And when you choose to keep moving forward, you're not just moving, you're growing. Every painful truth you face is a step towards becoming more of who you're meant to be. Every time you face that discomfort, you're becoming stronger. You're sharpening yourself for the challenges ahead. You know, there are people out there who are scared of the truth. They'd rather live in ignorance because ignorance feels safe. But the truth doesn't care about your comfort. It's going to find its way in, and when it does, you're either going to have to face it or stay stuck in the same place you've always been. You're either going to grow or you're going to keep running in circles. But the truth is always going to be there waiting for you to face it. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The truth has this incredible power. It can change everything. It's not just about revealing what's wrong. It's about giving you the opportunity to make things right. It's like a mirror that doesn't just reflect the flaws, but also shows you the way forward. And if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to face what's uncomfortable, then the truth will lead you to transformation. It will guide you to the next phase of your life, the next level of your potential. But it's not a one-time thing. The truth is a continual process. You'll face truths about yourself throughout your entire life, and each time you'll have a choice. You can either let it defeat you, or you can let it push you forward. Every time you let the truth change you, you get closer to who you're meant to be. It's like chiseling away at a block of stone. Every strike brings you closer to revealing the masterpiece hidden inside. Some of you might be facing the truth right now, and it might be hard to see the bigger picture. It might feel like it's too much to handle. But you have to trust that the truth is intentional. It's not there to break you, it's there to build you. It's there to shape you into someone who can handle whatever comes next, someone who is unshakable, someone who has faced the hardest parts of themselves and come out on the other side stronger. That's the power of the truth. It doesn't leave you where it finds you. It doesn't just expose your flaws and walk away. No, it stays with you. It pushes you. It forces you to evolve. And when you choose to accept that challenge, when you decide to let the truth do its work, you open up the possibility of becoming someone you never thought possible. You allow yourself to evolve into the person you're truly meant to be. So the next time the truth knocks on your door, don't turn away. Don't close your eyes and hope it goes away. Open the door, face it head on, and let it do its work. Because when you do, when you allow the truth to transform you, you will become a force that nothing can stop. The truth will never be easy, but it will always, always lead you to greatness. There's a common belief that growth should be easy, that success should come quickly, and that if you're doing things right, everything will fall into place smoothly. But let me tell you something, growth doesn't come from ease, comfort, or smooth sailing. It comes from the struggle. It comes from pain. It comes from those moments when you feel like you're about to break, when everything feels like it's falling apart, and when it seems like you're too far gone to ever find your way back. Those moments of pain and struggle, that's where the real growth begins. The idea that pain and struggle are obstacles to success is a lie. Pain is a teacher, a guide, and a necessary part of the process. It's the fire that refines, the weight that strengthens, the pressure that forms diamonds. Without struggle, you wouldn't have the depth, the resilience, or the character that true success requires. It's easy to want to avoid pain. It's easy to run from discomfort. But the truth is, those are the very things that shape us, that make us who we are and who we're meant to become. Look around. Look at the people who have achieved the most in their lives. Look at the legends, the trailblazers, the ones who've made an impact. They didn't get there by walking the easy path. They didn't get there by taking shortcuts or avoiding the hard work. They got there because they endured. They got there because they went through the fire, and they came out stronger on the other side. That's the price of growth. When you're in the middle of a struggle, it's hard to see the bigger picture. It's hard to understand why things are happening the way they are or why you're being pushed to the brink. But in those moments, you need to remember that pain is not your enemy. It's your ally. It's pushing you toward your potential. It's forcing you to dig deeper, to find strength you didn't even know you had. And when you come out of that struggle, you will be a different person. You will be more capable, more resilient, and more equipped for the challenges ahead. Think about a piece of iron. When it's first forged, it's rough, unshaped, and raw. It's not much to look at. But it doesn't stay that way. It has to be heated, pounded, shaped, and sharpened before it becomes useful. The process is painful. The metal has to be beaten, hammered, and bent into form. But it's in this struggle that the metal becomes strong enough to fulfill its purpose. That's how growth works. It's through the fire, through the struggle, that we are shaped into something stronger, something better, something more capable of handling the challenges that lie ahead. And let's be clear, growth doesn't happen in an instant. It doesn't happen in one moment of inspiration or one stroke of luck. It happens over time, through consistent effort, and yes, through overcoming pain and adversity. There are no shortcuts. You don't get to skip the struggle. The struggle is where the real work happens. The struggle is where you learn what you're made of. One of the hardest things to accept about pain and struggle is that they are often beyond our control. Life doesn't ask for our permission before throwing challenges our way. It doesn't give us a warning. It doesn't give us a map to guide us through difficult times. All we can do is face it. All we can do is show up and give our best. That's all we can control, the way we respond to the struggle. And here's the thing, how you respond to the pain, how you respond to the struggle determines how much you grow from it. It's not about avoiding pain. It's about learning how to navigate it. It's about understanding that while pain is uncomfortable, it's not the end of the road. Pain is just a chapter in your story, not the whole book. And if you're willing to stay in the fight, if you're willing to keep moving forward, you will come out on the other side with a new strength, a new wisdom, and a new perspective on life. Sometimes the struggle is internal. Sometimes it's about facing our own fears, doubts, and insecurities. You might be fighting a battle inside yourself, questioning your abilities, questioning your worth, wondering if you have what it takes to make it through. But that's part of the struggle too. That internal struggle is just as important as the external challenges. It's through facing those fears, those doubts, that you begin to break free from them. You begin to see that the limits you've placed on yourself are only temporary. The only thing standing between you and your potential is your belief in yourself. But that belief doesn't come overnight. It's forged in the fire of struggle. It's built through the moments when you keep going, even when you want to quit. It's built through the times when you fail and you pick yourself up and try again. It's built through every single moment you show up, even when you don't feel like it. The belief in yourself doesn't come from always winning. It comes from never giving up, from pushing through the hard times, from refusing to quit when the road gets tough. Sometimes the struggle is physical. You're exhausted. You're tired. Your body is telling you to rest, to stop, to quit. But growth doesn't happen when you're resting. Growth happens when you push past your limits. Growth happens when you keep going, when you keep moving forward, even when your body is screaming at you to stop. The body is powerful, but the mind is even more powerful. Your ability to overcome physical limitations lies in your mindset. When you push through the discomfort, when you push through the pain, you unlock a new level of strength that you didn't even know you had. But let's not forget the emotional struggle. The emotional challenges we face can often be the most difficult. Heartbreak, loss, disappointment, betrayal, these things cut deep. They hit you where it hurts, and sometimes it feels like you'll never recover. But let me tell you something, emotions are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign of life. They are a sign that you're experiencing something that you're feeling deeply. And as painful as they are, emotions are part of the process of growth. They teach us empathy, they teach us resilience, and they teach us how to bounce back. And in the middle of the emotional struggle, you might feel like you're falling apart. You might feel like you're broken beyond repair. But that's the point where growth begins. You see, when you're broken, when you're at your lowest, that's when you can rebuild. That's when you can start from scratch. And this time you can rebuild stronger. This time you can take everything you've learned from your pain and put it into the person you're becoming. There's also the struggle of failure. And let me tell you, failure is one of the greatest teachers you will ever have. Everyone talks about success, everyone wants success, but let's be real, failure is where the magic happens. When you fail, you're given the opportunity to learn. You're given the chance to reflect, to grow, and to adapt. Success without failure is shallow. Failure teaches you resilience. Failure teaches you humility. Failure teaches you how to get back up, how to keep going, even when the road gets harder, and how to improve for the next time. Now, this doesn't mean that failure feels good. It doesn't mean that pain and struggle are ever going to be easy. It doesn't mean that you should seek out pain for the sake of growth. But when pain and struggle come knocking, as they inevitably will, understand that they are not here to break you. They are here to build you. They are here to take you from where you are now to where you are meant to be. They are here to challenge you, to push you, to make you stronger. And if you can learn to embrace that struggle, if you can learn to push through it, you'll come out the other side a more complete version of yourself. Growth doesn't happen in the easy moments. Growth happens in the hard moments. It happens when you feel like you can't go on but decide to take one more step. It happens when you fail but don't quit. It happens when you're hurting but still keep moving forward. Pain and struggle are not your enemies. They are the stepping stones to the person you were always meant to become. Facing the truth isn't easy. It's not comfortable. It's not glamorous. And it certainly doesn't come with a sense of instant relief. The truth is often difficult to accept, uncomfortable to acknowledge, and even harder to live with. But here's the thing, facing the truth is the one thing that can lead you to real empowerment. It's the key to unlocking your fullest potential, to becoming the person you were always meant to be, into living a life that's truly yours, not a life based on lies, delusions, or avoidance. You see, we live in a world where it's easier to hide from the truth. It's easier to pretend, to put on a mask, and to keep pushing forward as if everything is fine, even when we know it's not. It's easy to hide behind distractions, to push down our emotions, to silence that small, nagging voice that keeps telling us something's off. It's easier to live in the shadows, even if those shadows are filled with fear, doubt, and confusion. But there's a price to pay for living in denial, and that price is your true power. When you refuse to face the truth, you give up your power. You hand over control to your fears, your insecurities, your past, your excuses. You live in a world of half-truths where you don't really know who you are, what you want, or what you're capable of. You become a puppet to your own lies, unable to step into the fullness of your potential because you're trapped by the stories you've been telling yourself. But when you make the choice to face the truth, no matter how hard it is, everything changes. You stop running, you stop hiding, you stop pretending. And in that moment, you reclaim the power that has always been yours. The truth is your liberator. It's the one thing that can set you free from all the illusions you've been living under. It's the thing that will bring you face to face with the reality of who you are, what you want, and where you need to go. And when you confront that truth, that's when the real work begins. The first step is acknowledging the truth. This is the hardest part for most people because it requires vulnerability. It requires admitting to yourself that you've been avoiding something, or maybe even lying to yourself about something. It requires the courage to stand still for a moment and allow yourself to see things as they really are, without the filter of what you wish they were. The truth is not always pretty. It can be uncomfortable. It can be confronting. But when you face it, you give yourself permission to grow. You give yourself permission to be real. Acknowledging the truth allows you to stop spinning in circles, chasing after things that don't serve you. You stop trying to live up to other people's expectations. Stop striving to please others. Stop playing the role that society has handed you. Instead, you begin to focus on what you want, what you need, and what you are capable of. The truth cuts through the noise and shows you what really matters, what really makes you tick, and what truly deserves your energy. The moment you face the truth, you stop wasting time on the things that aren't aligned with who you are or where you're going. When you face the truth, you give yourself the opportunity to grow beyond the limits you set for yourself. You stop living in fear of failure or judgment or of making mistakes. You realize that the truth isn't something to be feared. It's something to be embraced because in it lies the freedom to move forward, to evolve, and to create the life you desire. You begin to see that your mistakes are not the end of the world. They are simply lessons, stepping stones to your success. You begin to understand that failure is not a reflection of your worth. It's an opportunity for growth. The next step in this process of empowerment is accepting responsibility for your life. The truth requires you to take ownership of your actions, your choices, and your circumstances. It's easy to blame others, to point fingers, to play the victim, to make excuses. But when you face the truth, you stop looking outside yourself for reasons why things aren't working. You stop blaming your past, your upbringing, your circumstances, your boss, your friends, or your partner. You realize that the power to change your life lies in your own hands. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you're to blame for everything that's gone wrong. It simply means that you're the one who gets to decide what happens next. You take ownership of your actions, your mindset, and your future. You stop waiting for someone to rescue you or for things to magically get better. You become the driver of your own life, and you accept the fact that it's up to you to make things happen. This realization is incredibly empowering. It frees you from the feeling of helplessness because once you accept that you are the one in control, you can take the necessary steps to make the changes you need. And here's where the magic really starts to happen when you face the truth and take responsibility for your life. You begin to see the world differently. You stop blaming your circumstances and start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. You realize that you are not at the mercy of life's challenges. You are capable of rising above them. You become resilient. You understand that every setback, every failure, every difficult moment is simply an opportunity to grow stronger, smarter, and more capable. With the truth as your guide, you begin to see life as something that's happening for you, not to you. The challenges are not punishments, they are opportunities to build your strength, your character, and your resilience. Another aspect of facing the truth that leads to empowerment is the way it allows you to let go of the past. When you avoid the truth, you stay stuck in the past. You stay chained to old stories, old patterns, old hurts. The past becomes your prison, dictating how you think, how you act, and how you see the world. But when you face the truth, you free yourself from the grip of the past. You acknowledge the pain, the mistakes, and the regrets, but you don't let them define you. You realize that the past is a chapter in your story, but it's not the whole story. The truth allows you to release the weight of the past, to forgive yourself, and to move forward with a sense of freedom. Facing the truth also leads to empowerment in your relationships. When you face the truth about yourself, you become more authentic, more real, and more connected to others. You stop pretending to be something you're not. You stop putting on a facade to make other people happy or to fit into a mold that isn't you. Instead, you embrace your true self, flaws and all, and in doing so, you invite others to do the same. You start attracting people who appreciate you for who you truly are, not the version of yourself you've been pretending to be. And when you show up as your authentic self, you create deeper, more meaningful connections. Your relationships are no longer built on lies, facades, or expectations. They're built on truth, trust, and mutual respect. But perhaps the most powerful aspect of facing the truth is the sense of inner peace it brings. When you stop running from the truth, when you stop living in denial, you stop carrying the weight of lies and secrets. You stop carrying the emotional burden of pretending to be someone you're not. You stop worrying about what others think, and you stop fearing judgment. You come to a place of acceptance with yourself. You understand that the truth may not always be easy to hear, but it's always the right thing to face. And when you can look at your life, your choices, and your actions with honesty, you can let go of guilt, shame, and regret. You can forgive yourself and start fresh. This inner peace comes from the knowledge that you are living in alignment with who you really are. You are no longer pretending. You are no longer hiding. You are no longer bound by the lies you've told yourself or others. You are free to be yourself, to pursue your passions, and to live your life authentically. And this authenticity, this alignment with your true self, is the foundation of empowerment. Finally, facing the truth gives you the clarity to move forward. The truth allows you to see the path ahead more clearly. It helps you make better decisions, take more intentional actions, and build a life that aligns with your values, goals, and desires. When you're not clouded by lies or self-deception, you can move with purpose. You can take control of your destiny and make choices that are in line with your true desires. The truth gives you the clarity to know where you want to go and the confidence to take the steps to get there. Facing the truth isn't easy. It requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to let go of the things that no longer serve you. But when you make the choice to face the truth, you reclaim your power. You stop letting fear, doubt, and insecurity control your life. You step into the fullness of who you are and the potential that lies within you. And when you do that, you unlock a life of freedom, authenticity, and empowerment that no one can take away from you. The truth is your ally. It's the tool that can set you free. And when you face it, you are no longer a prisoner of your circumstances. You are the master of your own life.